Welcome to today's explainer. I am so pumped for this one. Seriously, consider this your personal masterclass on escaping that exhausting hamster wheel trap of trading your limited time for money and finally stepping into the absolute freedom of exponential scaling. We're going to dive into some incredibly profound concepts today, pulling from master strategists on wealth, psychology, and the modern attention economy. So if you are ready to smash through those invisible ceilings and completely rewire how you think about value, well, you're in the exact right place. Let's get right into it.
All right, here is our roadmap for today. First up, reprogramming your wealth thermostat. 2, the math of millions. 3, exponential scale and assets. 4, mastering the attention economy. And finally, number 5, future wealth creation opportunities. We start deep in your own psychology, and we finish up with external, viral execution. Okay, let's dive right into section 1, reprogramming your wealth thermostat. Because before we even think about touching spreadsheets or algorithms, we absolutely have to talk about the invisible barriers keeping so many aspiring entrepreneurs broke. So I want to kick things off with a pretty heavy question. Why are you unconsciously sabotaging your own wealth? Think about it for a second. If you've got this underlying, maybe hidden belief that wealth is somehow bad, or that getting rich makes you a greedy person, you're literally hitting the brakes on your own success. I mean, you're never going to put in the grueling work to become something you subconsciously despise, right? Experts call this the purity of your money mindset. If you aren't making the money you want right now, you really got to ask yourself if you are the one setting up the roadblocks. You see, there's this silent battle happening in your head every single day. Business strategist Myron Golden points out that your money mindset operates exactly like a thermostat. It is on pure autopilot. You might consciously want wealth, you read the books, you set the goals, but if your subconscious thermostat is permanently set to broke or just scraping by, well, the subconscious is going to win every single time. It's just like basic environmental control. If the room's thermostat is set to 60 degrees, it really doesn't matter how much you sit there wishing it was 75. You literally have to get up and consciously crank it up. Your mind works the exact same way.
And honestly, this inner conflict is exactly why we procrastinate. We always think procrastination is just laziness, right? Like, oh, I just lack discipline. But no, actually, scratch that. It's a symptom of associating emotional pain with the task. When you feel anxiety about an outcome, like, say, expecting a book you wrote to just totally flop or expecting a massive client to reject you, you enter this state of powerlessness. You rob your brain of the power to act. But when you flip the script, when you consciously shift that emotion to anticipation, where you actually expect success and vividly picture a positive outcome, you flood your entire system with the power to take massive, immediate action. Which brings us to section 2, the math of millions. Now we're going to transition from the internal psychology of wealth into structural strategy, moving from mindset directly into actionable arithmetic. The absolutely crucial starting point here is understanding how money is actually generated. The classic middle-class trap is selling a service. And man, it's exhausting, because you are essentially just selling your time. And time, that's a strictly limited, non-renewable resource. You work an hour, you get paid for an hour. You stop working, you stop getting paid. To truly build wealth, you've got to shift your entire focus over to income-producing assets, or IPAs. This means building a product, like a book, a digital course, software, something you build once, but it pays you repeatedly. You do the heavy lifting up front, and then you just get paid over time. Here's the crazy part. Becoming a millionaire doesn't require calculus. It doesn't require a degree in trigonometry. It honestly just requires 5th grade math and a solid grasp of human psychology. Strategists call this moving the zero. Let's break it down. If you sell a $20 product, you need to find 50,000 customers to make $1 million. That's a ton of marketing, but move the zero. Package that same core knowledge into a premium $2,000 course, and suddenly, you only need 500 customers. To put that into perspective, that's literally just 2 sales a day, 5 days a week. Elevate that even further into a $20,000 elite mastermind, and you only need 50 customers for the entire year. It's the exact same $1 million, just solved with a vastly more efficient equation. But okay, here's the reality check. The hardest part of this $1 million formula isn't the math. As the old saying goes, thinking is the hardest work most people never do. People will work exhaustingly hard, physically, for 40 years, just to maintain a state of mental laziness. To pull this off and build those high-ticket assets, you've got to actually sit down, do the deep, uninterrupted thinking, and engineer a highly valuable solution that permanently solves a painful problem for other people. All right, section 3, exponential scale and assets. Now that we've got the math of moving the zero down, we need to talk about moving entirely past linear business growth and tapping into true exponential scale.
Because there is a massive, stark contrast between standard growth and true scale. Growth is inherently linear. It's looking at last year's 100 grand in revenue and playing it safe, aiming for 120 grand next year. It's literally letting your past dictate your future. Scale, though. Scale is exponential. According to scaling experts, less than 5% of businesses under 10 million even think about scale. True scaling means operating from the future. It means standing right where you are today, asking, okay, how do I get to 5 million next year? And being totally ruthless about ditching the old models and comfort zones that absolutely will not get you there.
The wild thing is, the exponential gains you're desperately looking for are actually hiding on the other side of decisions you don't even fully understand yet. The process is simple, but it is demanding. First, you set the impossible goal. Second, you operate daily from that future reality. And third, and this is a big one, you upgrade your who. When you elevate your network, hire top-tier talent, and surround yourself with people who natively operate at your future level, it dramatically elevates everything else in your business. Basically, you don't need to know the how if you can find the right who.
Let's keep moving. Section 4, mastering the attention economy. So you got the mindset, the math, the goal to scale. Now we pivot to external execution, bringing in viral content strategist Brendan Kane to figure out how to capture the massive volume of attention you need for that $1 million math. And this brilliantly illustrates one of the most misunderstood realities of the modern digital economy. Zero. You need exactly 0 followers to generate millions of views and millions of dollars today. No joke. The old era of needing to slowly, painfully grind out a massive subscriber base over a decade, that's entirely dead. Modern social media algorithms do not care about your follower count. They only care about your ability to grab and hold human attention right now.
The absolute secret to leveraging this is demystifying virality. It's not about doing some unpredictable, silly dance. It is about utilizing formats. A format is just a proven storytelling structure that humans naturally respond to. Take the man on the street interview. People think that's some brand new TikTok trend, right? Nope. It was actually first used in 1954 on the very first season of The Tonight Show. It's wild. Social media is literally just human history repeating itself. The algorithm overwhelmingly favors historical, repeatable storytelling structures that keep people hooked.
So why do 99% of creators fail even when they use these formats? Well, the difference between a video with 50 million views and one with 300,000 views comes down entirely to deep context and execution. A gold performer hits you with an absurd, highly surprising hook that challenges assumptions immediately, while a bronze performer opens with something totally safe and predictable. Your delivery has to be intensely confident and concise, not repetitive or insecure. And most importantly, there's what experts call work to wow. The story structure must be perfectly linear and incredibly easy to follow. If your viewer has to work too hard to connect the dots, they are going to scroll away in a heartbeat. All right, bringing it home with Section 5, Future Wealth Creation Opportunities. We've built an incredible foundation in this explainer. Now let's bring it all into the present day and outline specific vehicles for 2026 that perfectly align with scaling and the attention economy. Here are the major, highly practical vehicles you can jump into right now to apply these exact frameworks. You can leverage artificial intelligence to divide up complex workflows, completely automating the boring stuff so you can multiply your creative results. You can build incredible, scalable cash flow through content creation by leveraging those historic storytelling formats we just talked about. You can invest in cryptocurrency assets to capture asymmetric, decentralized growth. Or, incredibly simply, you can go after government contracts, selling everyday utilitarian commodities like standard paper clips, office chairs, and sticky notes to the single biggest, most reliable buyer in the world. The vehicles are literally sitting there, fully fueled and waiting for you. As we bring all this together, I want to connect our external strategies back to your foundational mindset with this amazing insight from financial expert Garrett Gunderson. Poverty is an internal trap. True wealth creation is a magnificent win-win abundance game. It totally crushes that cynical, pervasive myth that wealth is a zero-sum bet where someone else has to lose for you to win. If you do the deep thinking and create massive, scalable value for the market, everybody wins, and abundance just naturally flows. Which leaves us with one final, vital question for you to chew on today. Your wealth thermostat is currently set. The math you're executing right now is generating your exact current reality. So, are you going to quietly leave it alone and just keep repeating the same linear history year after year?
Or are you going to stop making excuses, build your income-producing assets, and consciously, powerfully crank that thermostat up to step into your exponential future? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what you build.